superpowers, if only to make my adventures a bit more difficult.
Yeah, I've been in the back for a minute with the back windows tinted. They don't see me, but I've been around. I'm marching on the track, out of limits, got a 7-digit number. I ain't talking about the phone now. Hopping on the track, come on, run it. I got the gas and the flame, man, who want it? I'm broken amp in this bitch, yeah, I'm buzzing. I don't think you really wanna be among us when it goes down. And I've been eating all the bars, check the waistband. I'm on star on the mic, this is Space Jam. And at a glance, I've been looking like a plain man. But then when I turn the flame on, they like, hey, damn. Bitch, right, I might go flip this scheme. My shit too hot, my whip Christine. Hey, Stephen King mixed with Stephen Hawkins on him. That's a fucking genius, got him scared to even talk about him. Oh,
I got the spinning wheel of death here. There we go. It is doing absolutely nothing.
I can see it.
Oh, there we go. All right, man. What is up?
Oh, it's going through it again.
Right. All right. This whole thing. We're not going to use that. What the fuck was that shit? I'm just trying it. I've never
seen it before.
I know it's uploading. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, it should always say uploading, right?
I guess. I mean, now it's like 92%. But this fucking thing won't go away now.
There you go.
Gone. All right, man. What the fuck is up? How have things been?
Oh, it's a shit show as ever.
What else is to be expected?
Figuring things out. No, man, just spent a lot of time with. No, like I said, just spent a lot of time with my kids. Been doing some consulting, which has been a very interesting experience.
I bet.
Helping people that probably shouldn't be involved in a restaurant blow a bunch of cash, and hopefully just, hey, I'm here to help you make the right decisions. I can't make everything for you. It's my job to teach you, so that when I'm gone, you can continue making the right decisions. And man, that is a very interesting experience, to say the least.
I can imagine, dude. I mean, I went for an interview at this restaurant in Huntington down here, and I didn't get the job, and the restaurant went under in like 3 months. But the guy I got the interview through, he keeps contacting me about going to places in like Jersey and this and that, like, Pennsylvania for one. Like, his company was opening, like, they were consulting with people that open like barbecue restaurants and stuff like that. And he kept my name in the mix. And so he'll contact me here and there, but it's always on days that I can't make it. So it's like, am I going to take a day off of work? Am I going to take a day off of work and like spend money to head to Pennsylvania or to Jersey to like, make like a few $100 a day, and then I can make that at work,
Yeah, and is it really worth it?
Yeah, no, it's
yeah, and I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, that place was under in 3 months too. Like, I've seen it, and unfortunately, I mean, I guarantee you, they may have had the right ideas, but if they're under in 3 months, that means they didn't have the cash flow.
No, I mean, the husband was like a professional bodybuilder, and the woman, um, I forget, something like big ass cookie or some shit like that. It's like a cookie company. They just make these giant ass fucking chocolate chip cookies. And then they
That
had
crumble.
they just had some brilliant idea to like open up a restaurant, and it was too much for them. They spent all this money like making this place beautiful, and then fucking nobody went. It was like a great location, but that place is like turned over so many times. And like, I don't know, it's like a DJ, you know what I mean? Like you play to the crowd. You can't just like go in with this like obnoxious bullshit and think everyone's gonna want like fucking shaved black truffles and everything.
Well, especially if everything you know about a restaurant comes from Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that's
A little salt bay
kind of
shit.
where we, yeah. I mean,
It's,
oh God.
it's like a fucking clown show.
And I've worked for those people too, and it's just there's no legs to it. If that's what you want to be, that's fine. But as soon as the next place opens up, you're gone. You're no longer relevant. So you might be able to survive a year, maybe, but what happens after that? You have to completely reinvent yourself.
Yeah, 100%. And
And
that's what we did. I mean, before I went to Harley's, it was predominantly a steakhouse. It was steaks. Like we had our own the like behind the host stand. There's a walk in, and it's like this frosted glass. But you used to have like we had all the meats like on display there. And then through COVID, things got a little different, and then kind of reinvented ourselves and started adding more. And like instead of just buying the steak a la carte, we made it like a plated dish. And
sure.
we're just we're evolving, and that's just what it is. And if you don't evolve, you fucking die. You know, you look
Well,
at
there's a
places like, I mean, aside from like Fridays and Applebee's and shit like that bullshit's always going to be the same. But like if you want to stay competitive, you have to fucking evolve, and you have to like not like trend chasing or any of that bullshit. Like you need to like understand your customer base, and you need to play to them, and like elevate what you do on a daily basis, you know, consistently.
yes, 100%. And that's another one that's always hard to kind of convey to people too. Is because the other part is it's very different from evolving constantly and having to reinvent yourself. Reinventing yourself, I mean, you're talking about, almost doing a complete rebrand, right? Um, as opposed to if you're constantly staying current, and that involves not fucking chasing social media, or having every plate Instagram ready. Um, but you're challenging yourself, you're challenging your crew, and that way everybody stays engaged because things are changing. People are having a lot more fun, right? If the world of those Chili's, the TGI Fridays, where everything's that conveyor belt, um, or even if you do have just your restaurant and it's doing well, but nothing ever changes, right? You run that static menu all the time because you're scared that if you change this or move this here or introduce this, you're going to offend somebody, piss somebody off, take off someone's favorite, whatever. They're never going to come back and everything's going to crumble around you. Um,
The fucking dishes of restaurant past, man.
well, and I mean, there's plenty
It's
of
like
that too. It's like, hey, it's working. You can't change it. And you're like, no, you have to.
you have to change it.
You have to.
Scared money
Because
don't make money.
no. And I mean,
No,
but
it's
when
crazy.
the other part is like, well, what if they don't like it? It's like, listen, the guest needs to see the change just as much as your staff, right? Because otherwise the guest gets bored, right? Unless they're 85, 90-year-old, just rich oil money, and they just want the same thing all the time because they don't really care. They probably can't taste shit anyway, right? They're just out doing their thing,
Yep.
right? That's fine. Great. You can close your restaurant down when your entire clientele's died off. But if you want to have a restaurant that's going to survive today, you have to constantly be introducing stuff, changing things, and tweaking the menu. I mean, not. I don't want to say tweaking the menu in the way you just constantly fucking with it. If there's something on the menu and it's working fine, you don't want to screw with that too much. But introduce something else that's going to be different, better, that could eventually replace that.
Exactly. I mean, like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, where do you live again?
North Dallas.
Okay, so what's the ahi tuna scene there? Like, what's this? Is it like a repetitive ahi tuna dish? Is it the same like togarashi sesame seed crusted shit?
Oh man, that was so 10 years ago.
No, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like where I am, it's like, I mean, shit, dude. It's like 10 years ago, 2011, at Danford's Hotel and Marina, Wave Seafood Kitchen. We did togarashi seared tuna, and it was a fucking hit. Like, we sold a fuck ton of it, a fuck ton.
Yeah. Let me guess, mango salsa.
No. We did like a seaweed salad.
Soy caramel.
Yeah, sweet soy, fucking wasabi aioli, all that shit. It's the same dish over and over and over again. But like, Long Islanders like never get fucking sick of it, and it's so played out. It's so fucking played out. I want it to just fucking disappear from like every menu, because like, no matter where you go, it's like every restaurant I've worked in, it's like, can I get this well done? Like, no, dude, fuck your well done tuna. You want like well done. You want ahi tuna like cooked well. Like,
Yeah.
fucking here's like.
I'll go open the can for you. Hold
Yeah,
on.
here's a can of fucking Starkist. Like, why are we doing this? You're paying $30 for an entree, and you want this thing fucking crushed. Like, why? It's like, buy a pair of Jordans and fucking set it on fire. It's like $150 pair of fucking shoes and just burn them.
Yeah.
Like, why do we do this?
I'll be happy to announce that it is not as predominant here.
Thankfully,
it used to be, right? I mean, tuna in general was just, I mean, every menu had tuna fucking 6 ways on it.
Oh, it's absurd.
They probably would have figured a way to make a dessert with it. They would.
Yeah, right. It's crazy, dude. I'm like, there's like salmon. Like, fuck salmon, dude. Salmon can fuck all the way off. Like, it's such a boring fish. There's so much better shit out there. Like, like, there's nothing. There's like nothing original anymore for salmon or tuna. It's boring. Like, where do you go? There's so many good fish out there. Like, just take Atlantic cod. Like, you can do so many things with that. Like a nice white flaky fish, or like a halibut, or like swordfish is fucking played out. Like, like, where do we go?
Well, I think that's in the menu design and engineering, right? Where it's, I think it was, I think I saw him over at the Chef's PSA. You mentioned it, where it was, you set a menu and it's about 80% of the menu is, we'll just call it safe.
Yeah.
Right. Your salmon, your tuna, like stuff that in so many ways just annoy you. Right. And that's fine. It's there. But then you've got the 20% of the menu where it can be you.
Right.
And it's an expression of yourself, the restaurant. It's more adventurous, right? It's going to push some more limits and some boundaries. And then depending on the restaurant, things can go from there. But, that's why sometimes, those tuna, whether it's the tuna nachos, the tuna tower, the togarashi tuna, I mean, we're using the seaweed to make the
don't forget the tuna nachos.
All that shit.
Don't forget the tuna nachos, but better be that fucking edamame.
Oh, God.
It's crazy,
And
dude.
but then you have, whether it's your cod or your sablefish off the West Coast, or I don't know how much West Coast fish you get out of there. I mean, you're on the ocean, so it probably wouldn't bring in too much, but um, there's a ton of options out there on the Atlantic.
Yeah. Dude, I've tried to like convey this to so many people, like that exact message, like that like 80-20. And I don't know, like you get like these, like I'm almost 45, and like I've done the exec roles, I've done that shit, and like fuck, dude, I was executive chef at 25, and 20 years of doing this, it's like you see some shit, and like you see people come and go, and you understand like the ebb and flow of like what happens in a restaurant and like menu creation. And you see these new guys that are like, whatever, in their 20s and 30s, late 20s and their 30s, and they're like, I'm going balls to the wall. Like I want to be like the next like social media giant. And like it's fucking it's like not a thing. It's sad because like,
God, they're really going for the social media side of
dude,
things.
it's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, it gets to the point where like not to name names. So I'm gonna do my best to not name names, but I'm pretty fucking bad at that. So like there's I'm fucking terrible at it. So
You don't have to name names, but just be
no,
very
no, no.
specific.
So like if your whole goal is to like, all right, let's say you have like 350 followers on Instagram, right? And I have like 1,700, and I'm like below you in rank. All right, let me start that over. Let's say um, I need to say this in the right way with that, and so I can like chop it the fuck out. There are guys that will base their entire image off of what is projected on social media. Like there's a guy down the street that like, he did 75 hard, and he's a big Andy Frisella fan, and so am I. And like I did 75 hard, but that's not my fucking identity. And I'm not gonna like, I'm not gonna complete a program and let that dictate like my entire fucking life. And like, hold on, I'm trying. This is like difficult because I want to say some like pretty fucking crazy shit, but it's
Well,
fucked. So all right, look. So 2 restaurants down is this dude Eric, right? Eric Levine. I'm fucking dropping names. I don't give a shit. This dude he's like fucking chop champion and all this nonsense, and like like his whole fucking career is like based off of some bullshit image. And like what he does at the restaurant is like, I don't know, fucking hashtag like freezer to table. It's like all Cisco fucking frozen bullshit that we're just bringing in, dropping in the fucking fryer, and like plate it nicely. Like these like monstrosity fucking burgers that like are completely fucking inedible because they're like 7 feet fucking tall. It, it's like if you're trying to cater to a specific group of fucking people, like where does the artistry stop? Because we're just now we're just like making some bullshit for like a niche group
at
that
that
may or may
point,
not like it.
I mean, the artistry is there in the fact that you're creating this fucking monstrosity, but the soul of what you're eating isn't, right?
It's soulless.
It's so it's not, individual components may taste okay, probably not, right? But as a complete dish, it's going to be confused, right? Because it's just, I mean, there's stuff on Instagram I see all the time that it's one of those, okay, there's no way anyone would actually, in any restaurant, would have time to plate that and actually make that. Because I mean, it's just ridiculous. And two, it's, yeah, you can make it look pretty, but what does it actually taste like? Is it really going to satisfy you? Like, I mean,
That,
I've had plenty of art that is actually been satisfying as well,
but
right?
like that's exactly the thing, and like you hit it fucking like right on the head. Like, first of all, like, is it like logistically possible to pump out fucking like 100 of these a night? Second of all, like, are we just doing it to fucking make it look nice? Like, is the flavor there? Like,
Yeah.
like this guy, like,
Oh, I mean,
it's weird because like the owner of the restaurant, he owns like 4 buildings, like to the corner, and he's got it for like 10 years, so he's not going anywhere. But and like he's a great guy, dude, and I'm like good friends with his kid, but his other son is like an asshole, and he'll like he stalks my Instagram to he stalks it to the point where like I had to like block him because like if I post like if I repost something from the restaurant that we're doing a chef's table or we're running this promo or that promo, like fucking 2 days later, if that,
I saw,
maybe the next day, he's fucking posting the same shit and like undercutting us. What do you mean we can't access? All right, there we go. So it gets to the point where it's like fuck, dude. Like I get like you want to put yourself on the plate, right? Like that's the thing. Like this is me on a plate. But does it work during a Friday, Saturday night service? Like, do we have the time to really do this all the time, like 50 times a night? Can we take that fucking amount of time out of our schedule when we have 13 tickets fired at the same time, like 7, 8 tops, and fucking all this other nonsense? Like, it becomes a nightmare. And like, I feel like the chefs these days, like, they don't consider that. Like, it's just it's me, 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 and like, how do we minimize distractions on the line? Like, how do we get it streamlined?
I love
Like,
those.
how do we
The chef that's
how do we
trying to.
plate how do we plate this without your fucking ego involved?
I've seen those too, where like that first weekend, or that new chef in town, and he's making an impression on everybody, and he's got this menu, and it's like watching a fucking train wreck.
It's the
It's
best.
none of it's executable
No,
in any kind of volume.
and I personally love that these days. I think it's hilarious. I love watching the train wreck.
I mean, it's I feel bad for, I mean, the people involved. A degree, I feel bad for the chef because I know he's or she is just going to be pretty devastated by it. But unfortunately, it's hopefully a humbling learning experience. Hopefully.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
hopefully they take it as that and then don't go around blaming everybody else, which I know they do that shit too.
oh my god,
I didn't have the right staff. The fucking grill cook fucked this up. It's like, no, man. No.
I literally had a guy 10 years younger than me come and tell me that I need to fucking blend the marinara immediately, like soon as the vegetables were like soft, like just blend it, or otherwise it's gonna turn orange. I'm like, what? Like what fucking like? First of all, dude, like I was making marinara while you were like jerking off to a fucking Sears catalog. Like, are you fucking serious? Fucking get real. It's
Yeah,
like
you
these
need a
guys.
lot of carrots for that.
Oh my, there's 0.0 carrots in marinara. Like I've never put them in, not once, not
Yeah.
never. It's dude, it's to hear the shit that like come out of some of these guys' mouths is
Well, I mean,
it's scary because it's like you said, it's like this whole like Instagram worthy shit. Like it has to be this beautiful thing, and like I'll tell you right now, dude, like the best thing, like to me, the best thing on our menu right now is the chicken scarpiella. It's like it's the ugliest dish plated, but it had like how do you plate that
I
good?
get it.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's just potatoes and chicken and sauce dumped on top of it, and like, but that shit doesn't have to be pretty because like all the flavors are there, and like it's not.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
back on this Instagram, TikTok trends shit, and I don't remember how I came across it, but I showed it to my wife, and I, I was in combination of disbelief and scared because I was hoping, and I still hope that it was fake. But I've seen so much stupid shit in my life, both inside the restaurant and outside, that it could have 100% been real too.
Dude, like 100 layer fucking lasagna. Like
No,
there's
it was the chick that was talking about how to make your salt more flavorful. And she had like a bowl. She's like, you just take a bowl, like this is regular, this iodized salt. And then you just take some of this table salt and just a sprinkle or two. But it was like, and I was like, this has got to be fucking fake. And she's like, and sometimes I pick up like hints of smokiness. And she's like, leave me a comment, let me know what you do. And I was like, the fuck? And she's like, it's fake. And I'm like,
Leave me a comment. All right, here's the comment. It's up the road, not fucking across the tracks, dude. Let's go. Just end it.
I was just like, I'm like, yeah, it is, but I mean, I don't know it's fake, right? It could be real. And that's the scary part, is it could be real. And this person is getting tons of views, tons of comments, tons of interactions. And you're like, you shouldn't be allowed into society if this is real.
No, not at all.
But that's what works. That's what people want to see. Like that's what, and that's kind of scary in its own way. So anyway, I just saw that recently, and I was like, man, that's a.
Like, I don't get like. I don't know. Like it's so. Like all the the foodies, all the food bloggers. Like there's a fucking million of them, and like these. I mean, I get that it's like free promotion for the restaurant, but it's not. It's not like really free because you invite them in, take photos because they're like influencers or whatever, and you're pretty much like comping their meal for free exposure. But like, what do these people actually fucking know about food? Other than like, they really love like fucking peanut butter and jelly donuts and or whatever fucking dumb shit they're chasing. It's
Dude, that
it's
peanut
got to
butter
the
jelly
point.
trend.
It's like, dude, like like we're on peanut butter and jelly like cocktails. Like, really? Like, fucking, like, why are we doing this shit? Like, how do we get back to a not even like, I mean,
It's
like
just everybody is having to try so fucking hard
it's
to be able to be in front of things because people are going out there and just coming up with absolutely fucking ridiculous, stupid shit that is getting all the attention, and it's like, okay, I've got to be able to beat that now to be able to get the attention for whether it's on social media or just whatever to be talked about.
I don't know, dude. Like I'm very much um I'm rooted in like the old school way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
do something. Take if you take an old dish and like want to like make it yours, like take the fucking time and all of the ingredients and make it palatable to everyone. It doesn't have to be like the fucking Mona Lisa, right? Like you're not Da Vinci, dude. Like just let's like we're not reinventing the wheel. Like the wheel literally can't get any fucking rounder. Like let's just put more care and like fucking love into it. Like give a shit about what you're doing,
Yes.
and the outcome will fucking be better than the fucking next guys. And like that's
I'm
that's
trying
how
to remember. I was gonna say I'm trying to remember who I heard it from, and they talk about a dish, and this is I'm kind of going back to talking about the soul of food again, because it really does have a soul, and
yeah, man.
I know you understand that, and but it's you take a classic dish, right, and if you were to change any one of the ingredients involved in it, and it no longer becomes that dish, right? I don't have a good example right now, but it kind of takes the soul away from it. Like you've gone too far, right? Now, if it's good, right, and it's like, dude, this is hitting, great, but don't call it that. Come up with another name.
Yeah. I mean,
That was unnecessarily vague in a lot of ways, but I think you got
no,
me.
no, I get it. It's like there's people doing things today that like 10 years ago were like revolutionary, and they're putting it on the plate now to, I don't know, boost their ego or like say like, hey, look, I can do this. But it's fuck, dude. Like I think we've gotten to a point in food where it's like shit. It's like oh, I used to do this at this restaurant, and I did this here, and I did this there, and I like when I worked at this fucking Asian fusion place, and when I worked in here, and I worked there. Like we're just like recreating dishes that like the guy before you made. And like, is this menu like fucking really yours, or are you just like making shit that you know? Like, do you have any fucking originality? Like, is there anything like? Is there any imagination in there? Like, how do we make this better? Like, can you change this? Like, how do you make this dish from 10 years ago current?
That's a great question.
Because, like, how do you do that? Like, do you change the fucking method? Do you change, like, the application? Like, how do we do this? Because it gets to a point where it's like, dude, like, when I did this at fucking this restaurant fucking 5 years ago, like, oh, we sold a fuck ton of it. Okay, good. That was 5 years ago. Like, so what the fuck are we doing now? Like, it's 2023. We're in a totally different fucking world. Like, things have changed. There are so many different fucking ways to go about this. And, like, why do we have to fucking make it that way? Why can't we, like, not reinvent the wheel, but, like take something and, like, deconstruct it and then put it together again, but
Right.
in a totally different fucking method. Like, why do we
Yeah.
have to continuously fucking beat the same drum and play the same fucking song over and over and over again.
But I mean, that just goes back to I think the saying is like something familiar in an unfamiliar way,
Yeah, but like
right?
it like I get fucking frustrated because like I see shit, I hear shit, like not for nothing to do. Like the guys I work with, like they talk to me because they don't want to fucking deal with him, right? Because like I'm the guy that can like, because I'm like so fucking jaded by this business and this fucking life, and I've seen it, I've done it all. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's no fucking surprises anymore. And like to the new guy, it's maybe I don't know if it's intimidating or whatever, but like shit, dude, like there's so much to learn. And like I laugh at these guys because it's like fuck, dude, like you have so much ahead of you, and there is a lifetime of fucking information out there. Like take fucking like any bullshit fucking Italian restaurant, right? Like you like chicken parmesan. Like how many fucking ways can you seriously make that dish? Like,
Breaded
like
fried chicken.
yeah, it's like you know what I'm saying? It's like you take like one thing and it's like, all right, well, okay, now what? Like, how do I make this me? Like you don't. It's fucking chicken parmesan, dude. It's like just fucking like give it up. Like just either fucking make it the way it's supposed to made, or
Right.
like fucking
Uh,
move on.
yeah. No, that chicken parma would be a great example of one of those things. It's like there's so few ingredients that you could change and maintain calling it a chicken parm.
Yeah,
Like if it's not a breaded fried cutlet kind of thing with your marinara, your cheese, and all that stuff, like it's not it. So that would be you can't take like I'm going to take this airline chicken breast and then do a fucking Parmesan crust tuile.
yeah,
No, that's not going to work.
no, because like people don't get it. There's all these like
People order chicken parm, they're going to expect that.
yeah, there's like all these aspirations of like being the next fucking Leonardo da Vinci for a restaurant, and like
Man, I mean,
not it's not fucking how it works.
I I've had the luxury of being in part of restaurants that there's a couple that gave me a pretty good amount of freedom, and first and foremost, 95% of the time, I was making sure the guest was taken care of. The other 4% of the time, making sure staff was happy.
Yeah,
Right. And then there's that 1% time where I would have enough money in the budget to fuck around, whether if it was different product or something, um, and actually just kind of play and have fun with it. With the whole idea of like, where is this going to go? I don't know. Right. Some of the stuff would eventually hit the menu. Some of it didn't. Right. Uh, but I would use regulars to kind of test it on. And but that was a luxury,
yeah,
and people don't understand that. Just to being able, I mean, I had one sous chef one time, one of my restaurants, and this restaurant we changed the menu daily. It was a seafood place, and everything was flown in from the West Coast, East Coast, out of Houston. It was trucked up, so menu was set by what we had on hand, what was available, like
that's
what
like
actually showed up.
that is
Um,
that's like my fucking dream. Like I would do that.
oh, it was
I would do
great.
that every fucking day. Literally
Uh,
never the same fucking menu ever. Just
And well,
what I got.
the challenge is I mean there was me and two Sues, and we still got a 7-day work week here, um, and he wanted me to write the schedule so that there would be one of the sous or one person could always be back in the prep room during dinner service, like doing R&D. And I'm like, no.
No. Get the fuck out here and work, dude.
I
No.
I don't know how to explain this. No. It's like nobody has that luxury, right? I mean, it was like the R&D was in the process of creating this dish. We would create it and use theoretically sound techniques. And it's like, okay, we know we've got this, we know we got this. And then you would then just like, okay, here are the different components I'm going to kind of play with here. You got your fish, you're going to sear it, boil it, grill it, right? What are the sauce? What are the condiment? Like, and so use like, we'll just call it the recipe for the recipe, right? Of how you're going to put it all together. And that was a way to
that's a great way to put it. The recipe for the recipe.
Yeah. But that was a safe way, if you will, to be able to make sure that you were able to bring things together cohesively. As opposed to just sitting in the back, just fucking around for 4, 5, 6 hours, making a mess, and then put it on the menu and have it just completely fucking bomb.
Oh, I know guys like that.
Because the other part is
Hurricane Irene, fucking leave a shit show behind you and fucking let everyone else fucking clean it up. Like, those are the worst fucking kind of guys, man.
We're not cooking for you. You're not cooking for you. You're cooking for the people out there that are paying you to cook.
Fuck yeah, dude. 100%.
So, like, you know what? There's all kinds of shit that I made that I was like, no, I don't love it. But they fucking do. Right? And I mean,
but that's where we come in. Like, you take some like
it was the tuna.
Yeah, you take some like fucking boring dish that's like, I don't know, some like fucking bullshit piece of salmon or fucking whatever, and like
Togarashi tuna.
Yeah, fuck, it's the same shit, dude. Like, you take that one dish that like plays to them, but like you get to put your little spin on it, but then you don't. You just make the same boring shit. Like, to me, like, that's just like a fucking failure. Like, what have you worked for? If you can't take like one simple bullshit thing, like fucking salmon is like, it's like the fucking albatross around my neck. Like, I fucking cannot stand this fish. Like, it's absurd because there's nothing you can do to like get it off a fucking menu because like everyone needs it. And like, we had one like on the menu before this one. Like, I tell, like, I don't care. Like, I know like the owner and the fucking chef will listen to this, and like I don't give a fuck. But like, I hated that dish. I fucking despised it. It was just fucking gross. It was like the most boring. Fuck. There was like no way to plate it nice. And like, every time I fucking saw it on the screen, I was just like, oh my god, like, fuck, like, seriously, like, another one? Like, who wants to buy this? Like, I would get so fucking aggravated because it's like, it's salmon and fucking spinach and like what, like a cherry tomato with like fucking scampi sauce. Like, there was like nothing appealing about it. It was like, I'm like, what? Like, first of all, who the fuck thinks this is like a good choice to order? Second of all, like, why the fuck do I really have to make this right now? And like, third, like, why the fuck are we still running salmon on the menu? Like, there's so much other shit out there. Like, there's a whole world of fucking opportunities out there. And we're so driven towards like that like 80-20 you spoke of. And like, that fucking salmon like has to be there. But like, why does it have to, like, if it's gonna be there, like, make it interesting. You know what I mean? Like, do something fucking special with it. Like, don't go the fucking plain ass like boring bullshit route. Like, let's make it fucking like something like respectable.
Sure. I mean, for me, the last few years when I was in restaurants was finding a way to do that with vegetarian based dishes.
Oh, fuck them, dude.
Well, I appreciated that challenge because everything about them before was it just felt like a side dish, right? And so I took that as a challenge. I'm like, hey, how am I going to make this a complete dish? Where it doesn't feel like just a side dish, where it's like, this is great. Like, where's the lamb shank?
Yeah.
I mean, so to me, that was the challenge that was really pushing me is how do I take a vegetarian based dishes, not vegan, just vegetarian. Vegans are their own little assholes, right?
I dated
Vegans are vegetarians that are just mad at everybody else and trying to punish people
basically, yeah.
around them.
I know. I
right?
lived with one, dude.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrible.
God.
It was fucking awful. Sweet kid, fucking great heart, but like, fuck me, dude.
But like I said, I mean, that being able to only work with a vegetable, though, it's a whole nother challenge.
It is. It really is.
And it was in some ways when you've got a protein and you're just got to dress up that protein, it actually gets pretty easy.
Yeah, I agree with that fucking completely. It's like something as simple as like spaghetti squash, right? Like, how do you like? I've made a fucking spaghetti squash that was like better than fucking any vegetable I've ever tasted, but like, because you have like, it's a fucking open plate. Like you can do whatever, and like you roast that thing, and you can put any kind of fucking seasoning. Like you put like mojo fucking pork seasoning in there, and like get like jackfruit, right? Make like like.
Man, I hate jackfruit.
Well, you take like the jackfruit, you make like the fucking like the fake pulled pork,
Yeah,
and put that in with like the fucking spaghetti squash, and like it comes out like pretty fucking phenomenal. It's like shockingly good, and you're right, dude. Like I open that challenge, like as much as I don't
but
like,
see, even then,
as much
like,
as I don't like the person that I was with at this moment,
sure,
but I appreciated the challenges that it put in front of me to like be creative with a squash or a fucking like
yeah,
broccolini or whatever the fuck it is. Like those things are harder to manipulate than a lamb shank or a fucking short rib or whatever, a fucking tomahawk, a porterhouse, like whatever. It's those vegetables, like they need more. They need more
finesse.
attention. They need more attention, and they need more love than the proteins do.
Yeah,
And that's the challenge.
that's definitely not for everybody.
No. Not at all. Dating a vegan is not for everybody. It's
Yeah. Oh, fuck no.
I wouldn't.
I don't hate myself that much. No, it's so, but that was my salmon dish, if you will, with vegetarian dishes, because I've been part of the restaurant where, that once every other night, it's like, hey, I need a vegetarian platter, and everybody would just scramble, be like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? And it was just a bunch of just grilled veggies, and it was a pretty half-assed attempt.
That's exactly what it is. It's never changed. It never will change. It's always like, what do you have for, like, get a fucking salad. Like, like, what do you think? What do you have for vegetarian options? Caesar salad?
Yeah. It's a shitty question to ask in a steakhouse. I mean,
Yeah.
first and foremost. But
it's like going to Red Lobster and be like, I'm sorry, I have a shellfish allergy. Like, what? Like,
dude,
like, why the fuck? Why would you even fucking go there?
you just walk in the door. Yeah.
Like, why would you bother?
I've seen it.
It's obscene. Like, dude, like people the fucking extent that like people will go to like disrupt somebody else's life is fucking crazy. Like, can I get this burger cut in like 8 pieces? Are you like, dude, we literally gave you a fork and knife. Like, you need me to do that for you? Like, like how? Who the fuck came up with like, cut this burger? I need this burger cut in half or 4 pieces. Like,
Well, you know, I was part of a restaurant that we did a salad. It was a Cobb salad. The idea, though, was things were going to be left bigger, right? Not everything was going to be just chopped into like just fucking oblivion and all tossed together. Um, there were people that were actually mad because they had to cut the lettuce or they had to cut the chicken, and it was
yeah,
like,
no, fuck them, fuck them.
yeah. So there's always going to be someone that's upset about something. I mean,
But like,
so
you don't. But the business should not be like based around like the fucking 1%.
oh, the knee jerk
And,
reaction every time that
and
one
I
person
feel
makes
like
a comment.
yeah, like we are like driven towards the one negative fucking review on Open Table. So like that's what we chase. Instead of chasing the fucking 99% and like making them fucking happy, we chase the fucking 1% and we try to like shut them the fuck up with like a chopped salad.
Well, I mean, I I will preach this always, but that one comment, that one review, whatever it is it actually a trend,
No.
right? And so, and then the other part is no one should be surprised when they read something, right? And so, if you're surprised by the comment, you need to be a little bit more in touch with your restaurant. And if you're into touch with your restaurant and you're surprised by a comment, then how legitimate is the comment to begin with? So,
I mean, fuck, dude. That's
no,
just
I mean, because I know what you're saying. I've been there where it's someone says something, and automatically everybody just starts with a fucking knee jerk reaction. It's like, all right, let's fucking recreate this wheel. Everybody get going. And it was like, why? Why? Like, hold on. Before it's just stop for a second. Like, we've been doing great for the last 5, 6 years. Now all of a sudden we've got to fucking recreate the wheel.
yeah.
This is one person. We don't even know what kind of mindset they were in when they got here.
So like, look, like, I'm gonna read this verbatim. So we have like a 4.6 rating on Open Table, right? This review. Only frustrating thing was that a couple of yellow jackets that were coming in through the open front windows. I'm allergic. It was scary. Like, why the fuck would you take your time to go on Open Table
Yeah.
and like tell me about your fucking allergy to bees? Like, what like, what are you thinking? Like what does that make you?
But I mean, stuff like that, you just keep moving.
We spent time looking for a perfect spot for Cousins brunch. Harley's was excellent. Harley's was exactly what we were hoping the experience would be. Engaging servers, delicious food, warm and comfortable setting. We were not rushed at all. Though the meal and the level of service was simply perfect, we will certainly return. Like, and then you get like 1-star reviews, like, we ordered a $47 filet mignon. We had to return it because the meat was rancid. The meat was rancid? Like, it was a well-done filet mignon. Like, you just bought a fucking house and set it on fire. Like, the meat was rancid? Our butcher's like fucking 3 doors down and across the street. It's literally, it's like fucking, it's like a day old every single time. And these people like just, they have this fucking thing in them where like they have to say everything that's on their mind about every little thing to what? Make
Yeah.
themselves feel better? Like it's like it's not an actual reflection of the restaurant.
No, and I mean,
The guys
I know
that
those
go on
people.
there and they just like piss and moan, and then you look at like their other reviews and it's like food was shit, like service was great, 5 stars, or like where's your like where the fuck is your like common sense? Like how are we like fucking like how does this scale work?
Sorry about that background noise there.
I don't know. I have like landscapers in my backyard right now.
Oh, it's on yours.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think so.
No, I heard it outside here a second ago. What else? I mean, we had some notes that you're on there.
All right, so
We on track, or
yeah,
have we
all right.
diverged?
We diverge a little bit, but I have time to edit. I'm off all day. All right, so what do you think about letting the kitchen, or more specifically, like the role as a chef? Like, how do you let that define you? Do you let it define you?
God, there's so many questions there.
So, like,
I mean,
when is enough enough? Like, do you allow the meticulousness and chaotic fucking life to like infiltrate like your home life, or are you able to shut it the fuck off? Because I know guys that are like fuck, dude, they're like balls to the wall, like nonstop, and it never ends.
man, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, throughout my career, that it changed. Like I didn't know how to shut it off, and I'm not sure if I wanted to, even if I did. So, because I mean, to me, it was I was younger, I was advancing my career quickly, I was loving everything I did, and I was consumed by it, and I was in love with it, and so that a lot of that just did carry over. Um,
But in what way?
and what's that?
In what ways?
Well,
How does it carry over?
I mean, in some ways, like for me, the party never ended. You know, I loved everything I was doing at the restaurant and the work, and then so I essentially come off that high from the restaurant and then just go to a bar and then just kind of keep that party going. Um, you know, I never found a way to unwind.
That is
I'd get up early in the morning and then just go back into it.
I get that, man. I mean, and I don't think a lot of people do. The when the adrenaline like fucking runs out, right? Like you're running like a fucking Friday, Saturday night, and like everyone else is like going out and they want to fucking like go hang out at the bar or fucking do whatever, or people have weekends off, like whatever the fuck that is. Because I don't. I mean, I haven't fucking experienced a weekend off in like fucking 20 years. So unless I'm like on vacation.
You're not missing much. They're a lot more
No,
work than just
no.
going to work.
Yeah, it's like it's dude, like I don't think people like understand like what we miss. Like we miss holidays, birthdays, fucking anniversaries. And I think that like I've dated people that are like, what do you mean you can't get off this weekend? Like, you really think I'm fucking asking my own for like a Saturday off on a fucking crazy busy restaurant? Like, no, like that's not how fucking things work. And like holidays, like, okay, Easter, fucking Christmas Eve, whatever. Okay, night of the fucking seven fishes, fucking Easter brunch, and this, that, and that. Like, there's shit that like has to get done, and like we're immediately the assholes because we choose to sacrifice. And
Well, that's the part. For it wasn't a sacrifice.
it's like it's not to us. It's not a
Uh-uh.
sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice to us. It's just us fucking caring, and it's us like doing our part. But to everyone else that like doesn't fucking get it, that like doesn't understand that level of like,
Dedication,
yeah, dedication, man.
commitment.
Like they don't, like, it's disappointing to some and it's like altruistic to others, and
Absolutely.
it's like such a fucking fine line, because like I've missed so many fucking I've missed everything. I fucking missed everything. I've missed so many fucking Christmases, New Year's Eves, fucking whatever. Like split up with my ex and fucking have my kid over and he's staying at my mom's, and I can't be there for fucking like for the stroke of midnight on fucking New Year's Eve or whatever, like because I'm too busy like catering some fucking party of Indians upstairs, cutting the front of my knuckle off, or like it's like it's like fucking crazy. Like the shit that happens is like it's so unpredictable,
Yeah.
but 100% predictable, because like we signed up for this, and
It's in the blood,
it is, dude.
right?
Like
And
I'm a firm believer that like that this isn't like a fucking job. Like if you want to do what we do on like on our level, like it has to be like a fucking calling. Like you have to understand like what the fuck you're getting into. And it's not about like it's not about you, it's not about fucking ego, it's not about any of that bullshit. This is about like making someone else's fucking day better. And I feel that like I feel that chefs now are like rooted in so much like fucking selfishness and like fucking ego and this bullshit, that it's like all become fucking lost. And like how you and I came up, and like the guys that like I worked for, like it was fucking never about you. Like you were the fucking bitch, like nonstop. Like, oh, you want to fucking talk some shit? Cool, dude. Like you're picking fucking time all day. Like you were chopping herbs fucking endlessly, like till the fucking sun comes up. And like we learned the hard way.
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean, so you asked me earlier if I miss the chaos since I'm not in the daily grind, if you will, anymore. And this kind of will tie into what you're just talking about here, but sometimes I don't, because I'm a little bit older than you. I'll be 47 this year, and
not that much older, like 2 years.
nah, not really. um, but with that being said, like there's part of it like where my body is just like, no, I don't miss it, but
Yeah.
mentally in my mind, it's almost like a drug that I do miss. Um, and I don't know how to explain it other than just calling it that. Um, because it's not necessarily a drug. It's but there's so much more to it about what cooking is and it being a part of something larger. Because yeah, you're making somebody else's day better. I mean, you're creating memories for people,
Dude, like
right?
there's
Um,
no chance like You could take the same fucking couple that go to the same restaurant every Friday night, and they can order the exact same thing, and that doesn't matter. But like
Yeah.
that experience will forever be fucking ingrained in their minds. Like you're creating something special for those people. Like, say, even if it's like a fucking well done porterhouse and, and like some bullshit fucking cream spinach or like some fucking ridiculous bullshit, like they're still gonna remember. They're still gonna remember that. And like whether
Yeah.
the taste in food is fucking good or not, like if you want to buy like $135 piece of meat and fucking burn it to shit, like cool, whatever, dude. But like if they
Yeah.
go
I'll
home
get
and
you the
like
A1 to go with it.
yeah, and like but if he goes home and like proposes to her and like you know what I'm saying, like there's so many fucking things that like people don't get about like
Well,
what we do. Like we provide like
and
an
it's the community inside the
yeah,
restaurant
dude.
too.
Like it's like an intimate fucking experience,
Yes.
and fucking you should feel fucking like privileged to fucking be a part of that. You should like want to do that.
I mean, I loved towards the end there as well is working with the younger crews and essentially being like a mentor to them and helping them understand what they were a part of, and helping them grow, and hopefully launching them off into the right path, right? As opposed to just letting them become the next fucking ego driven Instagram TikTok chef that has zero soul. His life is actually meaningless because he doesn't have any purpose other than creating what he knows is fake.
That is it right there, dude. Like I took a step back from like being an exec to like being a sous. Like I turn down jobs consistently. And I do that because like for one, like I'm happy where I am. I don't want to be like the fucking clipboard guy. I don't want to be the fucking clipboard chef. I don't want to fucking sit there. I don't want like half my days wasted on fucking math. Like I take jobs like I take it where it like fucking means something. You know what I mean? And like it means more to me to like work closely with a fucking guy, like a line cook that's fucking 20 years younger than me. And it means more to me to like work with them and be like, look, dude, like, do you get like why we do this? You know what I mean? Like you can get pissed at like there's like 17 fucking smash burgers on the board. Like, like that's fine, dude. Like that's great. But like all 17 of them, like better fucking be great. And like and not like not because not for me, but like for them. Like how do we bridge that fucking gap where like fuck man, like I don't know, dude. Like I just I want fucking people to like care about what the fuck they're making. And I feel that we like the restaurant industry's gotten so fucking stale and fucking boring with this like TikTok, Instagram bullshit and like it's not I feel like you got into this fucking business and continue to do it the same way that I have. And it's just about like caring about like who gets to fucking eat your shit, dude. Like not like your shit, but like but like but like who enjoys it? And like what part do you play in that? And if it's like a fucking percentage, like a fucking minuscule percentage, like you should feel good about that. It's not about like how fucking pretty it was plated.
Well, I'm kind of playing with this real quick. Is so yeah, man. There's so much to go with this. I've always believed that social media is kind of everything but social, right? It is actually very antisocial,
Mm-hmm.
because you hide behind your computer or your phone or whatever and just roast people or make comments about just stupid shit that is completely fake. Um, you just follow celebrities and real whoever else on their social profiles just so you could try to live through their life. And most of the shit that people are posting too is fake because their life is kind of empty. Um, and we're getting more and more into just a soulless society of just chasing emptiness. And I mean, and this is why suicide's probably more of a problem than it ever has been, right? I mean, because everything is empty, right?
Everything.
Nothing's got any soul to it anymore.
Nothing.
And then
Literally nothing.
so I just pulled up real quick, and with now all this fucking AI shit that's going on, and I asked it to create me an aggressive and unique seafood recipe using Atlantic seafood. It's fucking shit.
What AI?
Huh?
Send me the link for the AI thing.
Oh, the Chat GPT. I don't know if you've heard of
Fuck.
it.
Yeah. Oh, I have.
Yeah, and so, but I just it's like, okay, you're acting as a chef, whatever, so on and so forth, but it gave me essentially a seafood boil, a Cajun Atlantic seafood boil, and I'm like, that's not unique nor aggressive.
No.
So, but it's just kind of funny. But it is more and more people are going to be turning to this because they don't have the ability to think on their own. Because everything they've consumed up to this point has been given to them through social media, right? They don't necessarily have the creativity to come up with anything because they're going to be just copying what somebody else copied, right?
That's literally that's like the definition of the fucking business right now. It's like
So,
everything I've fucking seen is like people I work with to fucking people to the restaurants fucking around me, like all on Main Street. Like it's all the same shit, and like nobody wants to fucking take the risk to like fuck, dude, like shit or get off the pot.
well,
Like
that's,
what?
I mean, you said nobody wants to take the risk. I mean, the restaurant is a massive fucking risk,
It's a
right?
fucking huge risk. But like
It is,
you have the staples. If you have like the shit that you know sells, right? Take that 80%, that 20%, jump off the fucking ledge. Like fucking jump. Like just do
oh,
it. Like fucking do it. And like make that you. Like take the fucking risk. Like what is it
or
if you don't,
just don't get in the business.
yeah, like if you don't take the risk, like what the fuck are you doing here? Like like why even fucking bother? Like what you want to fucking make a pretty plate for fucking Instagram? Great, dude. Like that's awesome. But
Well,
what does it fucking taste like? Like what do you do? What do you fucking actually do aside from like come in, make a fucking mess, and like not fucking teach people shit? Like, do you give a fuck about like the cooks you work with? Do you fucking care about like the people in the front of the house? Like, are you fucking like, are you really fucking invested?
so many people, if they're building restaurants now, it feels like this is the trend where they've got more money that they know what to do with, and so they're just gonna burn a bunch of fucking cash so that they can play celebrity fucking restaurant owner with their friends.
It's I think it's like more than that though. Like
Oh, it gets worse.
for the owner side, that's that. But like on our side,
Sure.
like look at our friends. You know what I mean? Like fuck, dude. Like a waitress I work with. Um, you know, like she's going through like a terrible time with her fucking like husband, soon to be ex husband or whatever, and like she like posts some fucking stupid fucking some stupid text I fucking sent her about like how can this get any worse? I don't know, maybe listen to Nickelback or some bullshit or like whatever the fuck it was. It was like retarded, like absolutely fucking retarded. And that gets reposted, and then like the girl that I'm seeing sees that shit and is like, oh, like fucking here we go. And there's like the whole jealousy thing, and it's the whole like the chefs are sluts, and like there's like all these things that like we're held to. Like people think that like the guys that work in the restaurant industry are just like they're just garbage. You know what I mean? Like there's like this fucking standard that they think that like we just want to like fuck the hostess and bang all the waitresses and all this other nonsense. And like there's like a lack of understanding of what like we actually do. And it's not about maybe to like the other people who are like I don't know, fucking jealous or whatever. Like they like have this fucking thing that like that we are like notoriously um hedonistic. Is that the right word? Right? Like they there's all these like preconceived notions about like what we are. And like
Well, if they only
90% of the time I think that it's like the furthest thing from the fucking truth.
if they only knew that we don't actually have time for that shit.
That's dude, like that's what I'm saying. And like I like literally don't have time to like entertain all the bullshit. I just
Even if I
don't.
wanted to go down that route when I was younger, I don't think I had the time.
I mean I mean I might have. I might have went down that route. But that was like 20 fucking years ago. Like now it's like, dude, I just want to go home and like play Assassin's Creed. Like sit down, fucking relax. Like I don't want to do any of that shit. I just want to get the fuck out of there. I just want to leave.
Uh, why would that text be reposted? Why would anyone think that reposting any
All
text
right.
from anybody was a
It was
good idea or
it was
not?
actually kind of funny. I'm gonna pull it up and read it to you right now. It's actually comical.
Yeah, that's just one of
So it was
those.
something about she's like trying to split up from her husband, right? And she was like ranting and raving endlessly. She's like, "What are you doing tonight?" I'm like, I said, "What are you doing tonight?" She says, "Hopefully evaporating." Uh, fucking like into the ether or something. I don't know. There's a laughing monkey head on top of this. And I said, "All right, listen to Nickelback on your way out." And then I sent her like some stupid fucking picture of like Chad Kruger like holding the photograph. And then it just becomes like this whole fucking thing. And this other girl gets so fucking mad at me for like no reason. For nonsense.
Yeah, I've got nothing on that. That's just
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Where the fuck did it go?
that's just everybody feeling the need to put their entire life on social media.
Yeah, but it has nothing. It's
Well, I know, but it's to me, I'm I don't know. I'm very anti social media. So, and I mean, I've got family that they're all over it and they fucking air their dirty laundry all day long because
Yeah, I can't, dude.
You know, that's one of those like it gets reactions, and then so they get that dopamine hit of like somebody cares about me, and it's like, man, if that's what you need to get someone to care about you,
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I just texted it to you. I sent you the screenshot of what this girl got fucking mad about, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like fucking meaningless. I'm like, you're jealous because what? I'm talking to a server that used to work with me. Like, fucking get over yourself.
Yeah.
it's it's like ridiculous. But like the idea of like what we are has been so fucking skewed by television, social media.
Oh God.
Um, it's like disgusting, and like they
Well,
think that
because it's all sensationalized to be
yeah,
able to sell.
like we're not all. I'm sorry, like all the Gordon Ramsay memes, like great, like Gordon's great dude, but like we're not all like that. We're just not. Like some of us just give a shit. Some of us just care and like just want to like work with people and like enjoy working with people, not like customers because they're assholes, but like we want to work with like the people in the back that like we want to work with like the fucking misfits and the fucking outcasts and all that bullshit, like because
Yeah.
that's
Like you said, I mean, we care, we give a shit, which means if something's not right, we want to make it right.
yeah,
We want to fix it. And we don't want to shrug it off like it's just whatever. Who cares? Like
like
that always pissed me off more than anything else. Was just the people that just didn't give a shit and were very blatant about it.
it's like so we have
That'll turn me into Gordon Ramsay faster than anything else.
yeah, dude, like we have this Oktoberfest chef's table coming up. So I text my like my fucking partner at work I'm like, hey, like maybe we should like talk about this. Like I feel like it's a little meat heavy, you know what I mean? Like we spoke about the menu and then all of a sudden shit got changed and fucking got posted. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm just like I'm not on board. Like I think we can do better. And then when you text a guy like that and you're just like, hey, look, like maybe we should talk about this, and your response is like, what do you mean? Spetzel's the most German fucking thing ever. And I'm like, dude, like, are you really like that fucking defensive about like what's going on? Like, is this ain't fucking about you? Like, this is about like what we're providing to the fucking public. Like, how do we make this lighter, more approachable? Like, build it correctly. There's a method to the fucking madness, and like when you're too fucking involved, like with yourself, like things get fucking ruined, and you make it more about you and like not about the guest, and I think that's just like fucking sad. Because like if you walk into a place and like you're consulting for them, like are you doing it for you or are you doing it for them? Like you're doing it because you're doing it out of fucking wisdom, right? And fucking experience and understanding that like look, dude, like I know what works and I know what fucking doesn't, and I know how to fucking approach things. And and
Yeah.
I don't think food should come from a fucking place of like selfishness. And I feel it's like the fucking way that we're going with all like these stupid fucking burgers and all this bullshit on TikTok and all like it's all about like look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, instead of like hey man, like look at like what I can share with you. Like it's not a sharing thing anymore. It's like it's just like this fucking force fed nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, it is all force fed, but it's voluntarily force fed, right? People come up to it and just, hey, I want more of this bullshit. That's the problem. And But yeah, no, when it comes to consulting, you're right. I mean, it's not about me because one, if it was all about me, like I wouldn't be able to guarantee the restaurant would be successful, right? Because I'm not eating there every day.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
Fuck is that? Oh my
oh,
god. This is a test. National Wild. Are you getting that too?
oh yeah.
Is
I was
that a
like,
cell
man,
phone?
yeah, it wouldn't
Yeah.
go off. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my phone was going crazy.
Um, I forgot they were doing that today. But so I'm doing it for the
What are they
restaurant
doing, Rick?
owners.
What are they
Oh,
doing?
I think it was just a generic. But when I'm consulting, right, I do it for the restaurant owners. It's, hey, who's your client? Who are we appealing to? Now I'll guide them through that process of identifying who that person is, right, and then helping them create a menu that is flexible because that's the other part. It's got to be flexible, and especially I've opened enough restaurants and done enough ground up restaurants to know that what you open with and what you hope the customer is going to do with your menu is rarely actually happens, right? And there's going to be shit that's going to surprise you, and so I prepare them for that, right? So that it's like, hey, when this happens, don't fucking freak out. Don't start making bad decisions. Like this is going to happen. Be ready. When it does, you can't panic. And at this point, this is what you're going to do. You're going to give it X amount of time, right? And then we can look at it and then make some adjustments.
Right.
Um, because you go in because opening a new restaurant, everything is theoretical. Everything is
Literally
theoretical.
everything. Like these guys, they want to do like food costs like on a weekly basis. And I'm like, that's like not a fucking thing. There's so much like carryover, and there's the
That's
approach.
fun.
The approach is like so different. Like they want to like get on you about labor and this and that, and like, well, you spent fucking this much money and this much money. And it's like, okay, like, yes, but like, look at the distance it goes.
Yeah.
Like, I get it's all like they want everything right now, and it has to be like written in fucking stone. But that's not how this fucking it's not how this business works. This business is about it's about adjusting. Like you cannot succeed as a chef if you are unable to adjust in the moment. Like you have to be like the fucking eye of the hurricane. You have to be like the calm in the storm, where like everything is turning to shit around you and like fucking knocking down trees and houses, and like you have to fucking remain still and understand like how to work this out. Like you have to be able to see all that fucking destruction and then put it back together.
Yeah. You got to fix it as it's going.
Yeah, and it's people just like they don't understand. They don't get like it's not about just like cooking fucking food. Like sure it's about cooking, but it's like but how do you maintain this chaos or make sense out of the chaos to provide a service and experience to the guest and like make it just like you have to be able to like take this like ugly fucking terrible thing and like make it beautiful to somebody, and like that's what we do on a fucking daily basis. Like we deal with the fucking torment, the like missing the holidays, the birthdays, the fucking the weddings, the whatever. Like we fucking miss everything in order to like care for other people that we don't even fucking know, and like like that shit's crazy, dude. It's crazy, and like the people we love don't just like they like either they get it or they don't, but like most people just don't.
So is that a selfish act or a selfless act?
It's a selfless act. Like to me, it's selfless. Like I do that.
Depends on
Like
who you ask, though. Huh.
yeah, like exactly. It depends on who you ask. Like some guys like for me, it's definitely fucking not about me. And like the thing that like fucking irritates the shit out of me is like when I like work with people where it's like it's it's fucking about them. Like I'm gonna fucking cancel Thanksgiving. Like fucking what? Because like I want to be with my like that's great, dude. Like everyone wants to fucking be with their family, but like some people's families like want to fucking go out and like eat at a restaurant, like and that's where you sacrifice. Like it should not be. It should not be this difficult.
So, should people be more understanding then of event holidays and not expect restaurants to be open?
I mean, maybe, but it's like not likely because it's always fucking me. Like, what about me? Like, like the fuck do I owe you? Like, if
Yeah.
every restaurant would just decide to like, dude, like, we're not opening on fucking Christmas Eve. We're not opening on fucking Thanksgiving. Like, what are people gonna do? What's that gonna do? What harm can actually fucking happen? What's it gonna do? Force people to fucking go eat dinner with their families and fucking like create a moment with them and like make a fucking meal with their family to like sit down and fucking enjoy that? Like how terrible is that? That sounds like a fucking great idea to me. Like shit, dude.
And it's not because you don't want to work it. It's just
No, it's like
that's the way it should be.
if I decided to like shut down and like never fucking open on holidays or fucking birthdays or anniversaries, like it wouldn't be like for me. It's like for you. Like shut the fuck up and like bite the bullet, dude. Like you want to feast of the seven fishes? Cool, dude. Like fucking call your brother and sister, your fucking mom and dad, and like get in the fucking kitchen and make that shit together.
The way it's supposed to be done.
And like fuck, dude. Like that's a moment. You know what I mean? Like fuck, like going to a restaurant on a holiday. Like do that shit at home. Like what? Because you're too fucking lazy, or like I don't know. It like
Yeah.
it gets to a point where I get so fucking aggravated where it's like I'm so jaded to like working holidays and like they like it's like sad to fucking say, dude, but like holidays like they fucking mean nothing to me anymore because
Yeah.
it's just a fucking it's just a job. I'm just at work. And it's like, oh, are you coming over? I don't know. I have no idea what time I'm fucking leaving work today. Oh, we have like 30 reservations at fucking 7 o'clock, so maybe I'll be there by 10. Like I don't know what to fucking tell you. But like the ideal fucking way to go about this is just like shut everything the fuck down. Tell everyone go the fuck home, eat dinner with your family, and like just pretend to give a shit. Just fucking pretend to care. Like you pretend to care for like 10 minutes and like maybe like eventually you'll actually give a shit.
But will they?
I don't know, man. That's like the hope. That's the hope. I hope that they fucking care. Because I think there's
Yeah.
too much. I think there's too much focus on like the like negative aspect of the restaurant industry. Like people talk about like the drugs, the alcohol, the fucking promiscuity, like whatever, like all the fucking cliche bullshit. But they don't
Mm-hmm.
fucking pay enough attention to like what we really sacrifice. Like we sacrifice fucking more than they even know, or that they can even fucking comprehend. Because to them, sacrifice is like not getting a fucking pumpkin spice fucking latte at Starbucks in the morning. Like that's fucking sacrifice to them. And I'm sorry, but like that's not fucking sacrifice. Like you didn't lose shit
No.
except like what you saved yourself like $7 fucking dollars or whatever the fuck it is. You're like we like create and destroy fucking lives on like a fucking daily basis. Like we make people's lives better or worse. And like we have this like enormous fucking cloud that just like that carries over us like every fucking day. And it's like what's that like Spider-Man line? Like well, like with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
And I feel I feel like that's where we are. Like we have this platform to like take social media. Like we have this fucking chance to like say and do important shit. But instead, like we waste it on like fucking Togarashi tuna. Or like fucking sprinkling salt on some fucking stupid steak that like any asshole could have cooked. Like seriously, like we have this fucking amazing chance to like take what we do and like verbalize it and like make people fucking understand like why we do what we do. Like Tony did a fucking great job of it. But like he's not around and like there's nobody to like fill his shoes. There's nobody to say like you know, like when I go into a fucking family's house, like I'm their guest. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna eat what they're gonna eat, and like, and I'm gonna appreciate it because like they took the time out of their fucking day to like make this for me, and it was none of that was about them. It's so much more. Like food is so much more than just like consumption.
Right.
You know, it's a fucking shared moment that like you can never recreate. It's I mean, like fuck dude, like it's one of the most intimate things you can do with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to prepare a meal for somebody, uh, to sit down and like eat that. Eat like if you made it together, or you made it for them, or whatever. Like there's like to me, there's nothing more intimate than like giving a shit about what you're doing, like putting all of that into this one thing that you're giving to somebody else. Like I think that's a fucking remarkable thing to do for somebody, and I think the idea of like chefs or cooks or fucking anyone that works in the restaurant industry is like this shitbag that fucking wants to sleep around and fucking drink and do drugs and all this shit. Like that's like a fucking it's like the outside fringe. You know what I mean? Like it's not that's not like what the people that fucking care like actually think about and do.
Well, I mean,
Like is it not like
yeah.
is it not the most intimate thing you do for somebody?
I mean, just and for me, it was also just incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
that's like the borderline of like selfishness and like selflessness. Or like, what does this do for
yeah.
me? I mean, what does it do for you? Is it selfish to like want to do this to like make myself feel good? But am I also doing it to like make sure you feel good? So it's like this fine line.
Oh, I think that's the good selfish, right? Where you're nurturing yourself, if you will. Um, but it's one of those. At what point does that take over, though? And it stops nurturing you, and it just becomes just another day.
When it's become that,
Where
that's like it's time to quit, dude.
I mean, is that where most people are?
I think so.
Do I mean, do they maybe they don't even get to the part where it's actually nurturing to actually be there and and to cook for people and really appreciate it the way you talk about.
I don't think people fucking get there anymore. You know what? Like, it's like, dude, shit. I was a child, and we moved to fucking Massachusetts like out of nowhere. My great uncle died. Um, Left us his taxi company. So we left Long Island, moved to Massachusetts, and we took this business over. And my mom, being the fucking gangster that she is, she's like, going through the books and like, no, fucking dude, you have no idea. Like going through the books and there's like IOUs and all this crazy shit, and like we're taking this business over and like we're missing all this money and all this nonsense, and like she's going to like legitimate gangsters like car dealerships, being like, listen, you're not gonna fucking lend money to my dad anymore, and like giving mafia members like fucking warnings, like you ain't fucking doing this shit no more.
Oof.
And but like there was like a lot of shit to like rebuild and like get back up on our feet. And like we left a place in New York where we were like comfortable, and like my mom, my stepfather were like just like newly married, and now we're up in Massachusetts, and like I know the area because like my mom lived up there, and but like we're in a new place, and they're working all the fucking time, and like calls are coming in for like rides to Logan Airport and fucking the middle of the night, and like we got like pagers at this point, you know what I mean? It's like, but they were calling me like when I got home from school to be like, hey, look, like you're making a meatloaf tonight. Like you're doing this, you're doing this. And she would like give me step by step instructions, and I would do it, and I would fucking care about it because I wasn't making it for me. I was like making it for everybody. You know what I mean? It was like I was
That's your
given
part.
I was given like this responsibility to like make something for the people that I give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like the people that fucking care about me. Like this is my chance to like make something for them. So whether it was like a fucking meatloaf or fucking SOS or whatever the fuck it was, you know what I mean? Whether it's like like shit on a shingle, you know what I mean? Just like fucking egg noodles and fucking and like chopped meat or fucking whatever, you know what I mean? Like beef stroganoff or whatever. Like they gave me those things, like
Yeah, I get it.
whether it was like a recipe or whatever, just like over the phone, but like it was more than that when you like dissect it, because it was not just like it wasn't a recipe for like a fucking dish. It was like it was a recipe for like a family meal and to like enjoy a moment with somebody. And and I think that's like fucking lost these days. I think it's about like who can fucking pat me on the back the most, and like it shouldn't fucking be that, dude. It's just it shouldn't. It gets to a point where it's just like disgusting and fucking like unattractive. Like what can you do? What can you do, and what can that do for somebody else? Right?
I just had an interesting thought here. So, just the concept of nostalgia, right? For a lot of people, it could be meatloaf, enchiladas, something that their mom made for them. Like, what with people cooking at home less, um, with this next generation, what is nostalgia going to be to them? I mean, fast food
What?
restaurants, like
There's nothing. This generation is garbage. It's fucking garbage. All of them.
what? I mean,
It's all shit.
I'm curious, like what? I've got to find that out. I'm like,
There's like
what is nostalgic to them?
what a Taylor Swift video? Like who fucking cares?
Oh God.
It's like disgusting. There's they're so enveloped in like not hurting someone else's fucking feelings or being fucking noticed for how special. Look how fucking special I am. You're not fucking special, dude. You're not. You never fucking will be. You're not special. Look at me.
Yeah.
No, no. Nobody fucking needs to look at you. Understand me. This fucking like 1% shit. It's like the fucking downfall of society. It's fucking insanity. It's absolute insanity.
Oh God.
And it's
The
like
whole concept of woke.
it's like crept its way into the fucking kitchen and then like made its way out into fucking society
Yeah.
in like the most detrimental fucking way possible. Like when the fuck like this is it's like menu development, right? Like we were saying. So you get that one fucking bad review, right? That like doesn't like the lobster pasta was too fucking spicy or whatever. So then you change it for that one fucking person out of the fucking 300 people that come to your fucking restaurant that night. You change it for that one person. And now 290 fucking 5 of them hate it and they never fucking order again.
Or come back.
Yeah, and then like maybe 10 or 20 or 50 of those 295 fucking people out of those 300 that came there specifically for the lobster pasta that you just changed will never come back. Like, what have you done to yourself? You cater to the fucking one person that says some stupid bullshit that they don't like it. Like, fuck you, dude. That's great. All right, so go fucking eat someplace else. You're one person. You're one person.
Or simply ask, hey, is there a way
Yeah.
to make it a little
Yeah,
less
like
spicy?
go to Chick-fil-A, dude. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, who fucking cares? Seriously. Like the other 299 people that came tonight, like didn't give a fuck, and like none of their fucking reviews are bad. They all said great shit about everything, but like we want to cater to the one fucking asshole that's like, oh, the fucking fennel wasn't sliced thin enough. Like fuck you, dude. Like really? Like fuck you. Why? Like why the fuck do we do this? And it's like it's not just like a kitchen thing. It's a fucking society thing because like it's such a bigger part. Like it's all of that outside shit has like made its way inside the fucking kitchen where it's like it's not even fucking needed. And fuck,
Well,
dude, like it's not even wanted. Like get that shit the fuck out of here.
I recently saw somebody, another restaurant veteran, a little bit older than us, by about 10 years, a little bit, made a comment that this next generation is probably the best thing to happen to restaurants.
What? Say it again.
You heard me.
Say that one more time, but very clearly.
So there was another restaurant veteran that I follow, made a comment that this next generation, this generation that's coming through, is the best thing that has happened to restaurants.
Generation fucking hopeless, spineless, and fucking useless.
Yep, that one.
It's fucking crazy. Dude, that's the most
Yeah.
outlandish shit I've ever heard in my life.
And the argument was that they were going to make the kitchen. I'm kind of for those just listening here, air quotes here, less hostile.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. No.
Um, and I forget some of the other stuff, but it was just like, listen, if the kitchen is hostile, then you're just too much of a bitch. You shouldn't be there anyway. Like, it's aggressive. Where you're under the clock constantly,
It's
right?
literally a
I'm
fucking race to the finish every
after
second.
every ticket.
Yeah.
You get that next ticket, and just because you're working that ticket doesn't mean that the other tickets are paused. No, if that ticket takes longer, you've got to catch up. Like,
Yes.
the whole snowball concept. Well, you get that, and a lot of people listening to that are going to get this. But so there's that constant pressure to deliver, perform, and make it fucking great every time. So no matter what is going on in the kitchen, the guest loves everything and is going to keep coming back so that you can keep your job.
So they remove the
So,
hostility, and what happens?
well,
And
who's
you
to
what?
say it's necessarily hostile? Just
Let,
because you can't handle pressure
well, let's just
or
say,
someone jumping your shit because you're fucking slacking off,
yeah. Let's say you
that's
remove
hostile?
we'll remove the hostility, which is nothing more than fucking dedication. Let's replace the word fucking hostility with dedication. Like, these guys
Yep.
should be fucking dedicated enough to make
Or give a shit.
the first dish as fucking good as the last dish every single goddamn time without fucking falter. That's not hostile. Those are fucking like, that's not even like needs and wants. Those are fucking, fuck, dude. Those are like, that
That's respecting the craft.
that's fucking expected. That's your fucking
Yeah.
job title. That is in your job description. Do your fucking job, shut the fuck up, cook this as well as you fucking did the last one, and be over with it. And then when everything's done, clean the fuck up and punch out and go home. And then do it the fuck again tomorrow. Like, fuck this pussy bullshit, dude. I'm so fucking tired of it. It's like, it's fucking insanity. This like cater to my fucking feelings. No, dude, fuck your feelings. Your feelings literally mean fucking nothing to me. Show the fuck up, cook the fucking fish, cook the fucking burger, make the fucking guest happy, and go the fuck home. No, dude, like, no. This hostility bullshit. You think that's hostile? No, that's fucking, those are expectations. If you can't meet them, go the fuck someplace else, dude. Go fucking, like, go do math at fucking H&R Block and do some shithead's taxes. Like no. Go fucking work at Home Depot, dude. Carry lumber. I don't give a fuck. But like, you have no business inside of a kitchen. This is not for you.
I had a feeling that would resonate with you.
Yeah, dude. It's obscene. It's fucking obscene.
I
What?
couldn't stand it.
Like,
Just reading it and just like I was.
dude, like, dude, this kid I worked with, man, like, he would just like be on the phone with his mom, his fucking sister, and slamming doors and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, what the like? You let this get to you?
Like
Like,
the
I
generation.
go into work and like, it's tunnel vision. It's like, this is what I'm doing, dude. And like, I have a fucking
Yeah.
plan. And you walk in, and you look at a prep list, and you fucking dissect it in your head. And like, if you don't have the ability to look at a list of things that need to get done and prioritize them in your brain and like figure out when to start this, when to start this, when to start this, when this is done, and how long this takes, and fucking all that other nonsense. Like, you're never gonna make it as a line cook. You're not gonna make it as a chef. You're not gonna make it anywhere in the fucking restaurant business. Like, you need to be able to fucking prioritize. And like, discipline is like a fucking huge part of that. And like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what this like useless fucking pointless generation lacks. They have no idea what discipline is. They have no fucking clue.
Now, I will say though, there are several people I've worked with that fit into the category of this generation. Is that's just where their age is, but everything about them and who they are is not typical for the generation and the rest of people that they are. That they're not part of the stereotype, which unfortunately is a large majority.
Yeah,
So there are some out there that get it, right? And I they make me proud, right? Because they get it, they work their ass off, and they fucking love it.
dude.
So
I work with the guy Marcus, and I may have said this on your show, but like this kid, like he fucking makes me proud, like every day. Like, dude, he works. This kid got his fucking car repoed, like had the balls to come in and like ask for a raise, and then like a month later, like took another job, like a day job, where he works like 8 o'clock in the morning till fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like working with like mentally challenged people or like physically handicapped or whatever, like or both of them combined, and then comes to the restaurant to work with more like fucking mentally challenged people, you know. But like this dude, like he fucking grinds and like he shows up and he fucking works his ass off. And I have the most utmost respect for this kid. And like if restaurants had guys like Marcus around the clock, like people that care, that like not just like about like show, like he shows up for him. You know what I mean? He doesn't show up for me. He doesn't show up for fucking Keith or Mike or he shows up for him and he puts the fucking work in and like it says something about his character. Like it describes who the fuck he is. You know what I mean? Like he's not willing to fucking compromise. You know,
now I remember we did talk.
and like and that's like the fucking soul of the kitchen. Like guys like that just refuse to fucking quit.
No, society in general needs more of those.
Like I mean, since 2011, he's probably, I'm gonna say he's like my favorite cook I've ever worked with. Like this kid fucking gives it his all the time, and he's so like eager to learn and like wants to know more, wants to be better, and that's like not a thing that you fucking see every day anymore. Like these guys, it's like a fucking like an ATM. Just walk in and just fucking clock in and clock out and run the fuck away. And like when guys come in and they're like, "Hey, like how do I do this better?" And I'm like, "Hey, like just like let's like rearrange these fucking 6 pans or 9 pans and like let's like set your station up a little bit different so it's a little more efficient. And like what if we just like move this over this way and like little tips and shit like that to like make yourself more efficient." That's not just like a fucking kitchen thing. That's a fucking life thing.
Right.
You know, like how do you operate on a fucking daily basis like in chaos? Like like for me, like mise en place is like fucking everything. But that applies to literally every aspect of my fucking life. It's everything. It's like mise en place is literally everything. Like that's the fucking root of everything. Like how do you produce the same shit over and over and over again better or the same or better? Like how do you do that consistently without having those things in place? You can't. Like I can fucking wear a blindfold and turn around and and work saute every single fucking night and I know what everything is. By the touch,
Yeah.
like just by my hand, I know where I am. I like just like a mental fucking picture of what's happening around me. I could do that shit blindfolded and probably put out fucking 300 covers. And
I
everything
want
would
to
be
see that.
and everything would fucking be the same because like I know where the fuck it is. I know the timing. Like it's not just cooking. You know, there's like this mental faculty that plays like such a huge part of this job that I feel like people don't like understand or respect or even fucking acknowledge.
It's a different world, man. And
It's crazy.
I mean, I wish there was a way to get people to experience it in a way that would cause them to appreciate and understand. Unfortunately, in today's world, I think any effort to do that would cause, or not cause, but trigger people to want to fix it, if you know what I mean, right? It's like, well, there's nothing fucking broken here. I mean, it's worked for, God, I don't know, the dawn of the fucking kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's nothing to fix. Just appreciate what it is. Appreciate what it does for you, and just let us do our thing. But I mean, I don't know, man. Between like this next generation coming out, like it's going to be more and more difficult to, I think, function at a higher level. Um, Restaurants are going to struggle even more. Um, you know, the concept of robotics coming into kitchens and taking over. It's already happening in fast food restaurants.
It's gonna be
Like,
like
I mean,
you can't. I
this
mean,
generation.
you can replace like you can replace the robotic function of a fry cook that's just like dropping fries and onion rings and all that other bullshit. But you can't fucking replace like the thought and care and more importantly like the fucking respect for like what you're making for the public. Like you can't replace that with a fucking robot. I mean, like McDonald's can do that shit, like that's fine, but like motherfucker, we ain't McDonald's. Right? You're not coming in here fucking once a year for a McRib or a fucking Shamrock Shake. Like we're here to cater to you on a fucking daily basis. Yeah. The thought of robotics entering the whole fucking kitchen world is I don't know, I mean I guess like if it was chef controlled to like fill in certain fucking gaps or whatever, like that I can understand, but remove the person completely, like you it's like ripping the soul out of something.
I mean, it's almost gone already. Social media is taking care of that.
Yeah, it's dude, when it gets to the point where like you have to like narrate a fucking video and tell people like what your summer favorites are and blah, blah like all this fucking dumb shit, like dude, like I can't, like I'm so much happier. I'm so much happier as a chef to just like show up and like know that not like I don't want to say like know that I'm better, but I'm gonna say I know that I'm better. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate it more because I'm able to like walk in and like it's not about like this is one of those like do you talk about it or do you just fucking do it? Like are you a talker or are you a doer? Right? Like I'll go in and I do. Like I don't need to talk about it. And like the guys that come in and they just want to like fucking flap their fucking gums and pull all this shit like it's like some fucking WWF promo. Like dude, like whatever. We get it. It's rigged. Like it's all gonna be over soon. Like WrestleMania is over. Let's fucking wrap it up. But like when it actually comes down to it, like the guys that can do, and the guys that fucking can't, fucking they just talk. They just talk.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just fucking wasting air and space in the kitchen.
It's such, like, for me, it's such a better place to like just go in and just, dude, I'm so happy, like, to show up and like know that. So like, say I go in at 11, by like 9 o'clock, I'm at the gym, right? And I've already fucking showered, made my bed, fucking hit the gym, had a fucking decent workout, go to work, put my head down, fucking listen to some fucking podcast, whether it's like fucking Real as Fuck with Andy Frisella or like Louder with Crowder or whatever, fucking Two Bears, One Cave or some shit, and just like fucking zone out and like have a good like couple hours and just to me, you know what I mean? Like just prep shit out, fucking be in my own head, plan out the day, and like get myself focused for what's about to come. And what's about to come is like making sure the guest is taken care of. Like I'm not showing up to fucking prep all this shit for me to like pat myself on the back to know that I can do it, because I know I can do it. I'm doing it and I'm like making it fresh, and I want it all fucking done a specific way. I want like the fucking herbs cut. Like I'm a fucking chive snob. Like, dude, if I see you cutting chives like a fucking heathen, I will literally lose my shit. Like it makes me crazy. But it's like little stupid shit like that like makes everyone else's experience better. And that's fucking not for me. You know, that's for the next person. Like my me time is like the time before the fucking guest showed up.
Right.
And then after the fucking guest leaves. Like that's my time. Everything else is fucking their time. And I'm on their fucking clock. And I don't think enough fucking chefs like look at it like that. I think they think it's all about, this is me. This is all about fucking me. And it's not, dude. It fucking never was. Since the beginning of fucking restaurants, it was literally never fucking about you.
No.
Yeah. It's fucked up to think about, right?
I mean, it is, because I know some of those people out there too, but I've never understood that mindset. And I mean, because to me, I just kind of more that sympathetic route. Like, what is missing from your life that you feel that you've got to make up for it in this way? To me, I always think there's a reason for everything. Everybody does something for a reason. And nobody can honestly go through and actually just put the time in a kitchen and get to a level of a chef of a restaurant and then just suddenly turn and just be like, it's all about me. Now, hey, you know what? Be proud. You've worked for it. Hopefully you've worked for it and you've earned it. But at what point, but why did all of a sudden something just switch that it's just about you? No, I mean, it could have always been there. Maybe they just jumped around a lot. By the time someone figured out who they were, they just went on to something else. I don't know. I can't. I can't understand that mindset though.
See, there's a thing. Like I get like if you look at like the early years of my resume, it looks like I jumped around, but it was because it wasn't like it wasn't like a selfish thing. It was more of like I'm outgrowing this place,
Sure.
and I need to like move on to like do something different. And like this is stale and boring to me.
Well, when you're young, I think that's
Yeah. Like
expected,
this is like
and honestly,
my
it's
20s.
encouraged.
It was like I was working for Danielle Boulud, and I got an offer in like my hometown to like be an executive chef, and like I came in under the premise of like you're gonna be like the new line cook hire, but like we're really firing Matt in like fucking 3 days. You know what I mean? So like I came in and had to like work with this guy and like learn his food and all this other bullshit, and then like watch him almost get into a fucking fist fight with the owner because they fired him on the spot, and he didn't know that like they hired me behind his back to be his replacement. Like just
That's
crazy
harsh.
shit, you know what I mean? But I was like in my 20s, and like you still want to do all the wild shit and like fucking be a maniac outside of the kitchen, but like it goes back to that thing with like what defines you, right? Like you're gonna show up to work and like do you run your life the way you fucking run your kitchen? And if you don't, like, do you fucking deserve anyone's respect? Like, should anyone give a shit about like going out to eat your food? If you go to a restaurant and like you run that shit like fucking the tightest shit possible, but then you go home and like beat your wife and fucking kick your cat and whatever, like like run out of ice cream and fucking and like beat the dog, like you don't deserve anyone fucking respect. Like no one should even fucking think about eating at your restaurant.
Right.
Like I think the same amount of control that goes into like what you do in your job, like especially us, like the whole fucking brigade system, like it's so militant and like based in tradition and fucking regimen and like and habits and like not any fucking habit but like good habits. Like if you can't bring that shit to your life outside of the kitchen, like you're in the fucking wrong business. Like just go fucking cook at McDonald's if you want to like be a fucking nightmare to everybody and fucking and everything around you. Like just go drop fries, dude, and be replaced by a robot in like fucking 3 months. But like if you want to run a kitchen and like deal with servers and line cooks and runners and management and like maintain some fucking credibility and like some fucking
Right.
poise or like self-respect, like you better be fucking applying that shit to everything.
Yeah. So it's a different level of discipline.
Yeah, it's like it's like fucking non-existent these days. It's crazy, dude. Like the amount of people that I come in contact with that are just like their life's a shit show, and it's like I
That's
get like
unfortunate.
I get like everyone has fucking problems, but there's you ever hear the saying like slower is faster?
Yeah.
Like
Slow is fast, fast is slow, or
like slower is faster. Like that's something that
yeah.
like I teach my cooks um immediately. Right. So if you take like the fucking ticket just comes in, right? And you have like 5 tickets on the board and they're all like a minute apart. So slower is faster is applied by just like taking the fucking second to look at the fucking screen or the tickets and process the board, right? And understand cook times and when to drop this and when to drop this and when to drop this. And within like a month of practicing this, it just becomes habit. where
Right.
it's no longer a fucking thinking process. It's like robotic at that point. You can just like look up and fucking dissect it immediately and separate everything. And like me, like the way I was taught, and like I worked in kitchens with no tickets, and they were just yelling shit out, and like it's just all
Hmm.
right. One salmon, three this, like fucking, it just like it's like reach down, pull out a salmon, pull out a lobster, pull out this, pull out this, and like, and you put it all in a row, and then once you look at it, like visually to see it all out, then you look in your head and like figure out the cook times, and then you rearrange all those things that are in front of you, so they're all done at the fucking same time because you know the asshole server's gonna fire every fucking ticket at once. You know what I mean? It's like you have to like if there's no like thinking about the unknown,
Yeah.
like you're setting yourself up for failure. So it's like just figure out the fucking essentials, and then let's like work it out from there.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
that
there's another
slower
saying.
that slower is faster thing like works for everything. It's like
I
whether
was
it's like
saying,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was to say there's other sayings I've heard with that was practice quality and speed will come,
Yeah,
right? Because it's really easy for these guys to get in there, jump in, and get really sloppy and get really fast and develop some really fucking shitty habits to create really shitty fast food, right? Um, and then the other one is you run your station, you don't let your station run you,
yeah.
right?
Working
Specifically,
shit, we
like,
put out shit.
well, yeah, and like, but grill, like people would always like, oh, it's going to be busier. They turn up the grills. It's like, dude, listen, you run
Every
that grill, you
every
have that
excuse in the
set,
world.
yeah, and
Every
so that you
excuse.
control it.
Yeah,
You've got to be. You're the one that's in control of that grill. Not you don't tell that grill's not going to tell you when it needs to flip steaks and when is dude. You've got to
no,
adjust it based on how busy you are and how like obviously you don't want to have it all turned all the way down, right? There's got to be that happy medium there. Um, but if you got that thing just on fucking flamethrower 24/7, I mean, you will lose every time.
yeah. It's like I mean, shit, dude. Like Saturday night, it was like I had to work broiler, and it was like fucking crazy steak heavy. But I'm opening and closing this thing like a fucking lunatic, like all night. So like it like loses temperature. So like the fucking grill's not staying as hot. I'm constantly opening and closing it. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to like understand the tools you're working with. And like this, they could be yelling like, "Where's this fucking porterhouse? Where's this cowboy? Where's this? Where's that?" Like, dude, like it's coming. Like just like Christmas, motherfucker. Like it's coming. But like you need to give me a second because like I want to make sure it's going to get done properly. So when the grill's hot enough, I'll get that fucker back on there. You know what I mean? Like you can like pre-sear a couple things, but if you're in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, like you need to be able to understand like what you're working with. Like
Yeah.
like fryers. You know what I mean? Like these fries aren't crispy enough. Well, we just dropped like 95 fucking baskets in a row, and like the temperature dropped. So like now you need to pull them up for a second, like let the temperature get back up, and fucking get them back down again. Like there's there's like methods to quality control that people just like don't get. Like everyone's just like now. No, like it's not now. It's like it's when it's fucking ready. And it's not about it's not like a I'm fucking lazy thing. It's like I care about what the fuck I'm doing thing, and I want it done the right way. So we're gonna wait like 45 seconds or fucking 90 seconds or a minute and a half or fucking 3 minutes, whatever it takes. Like we're gonna wait that amount of time to like make sure it comes out the best way possible, and not this like
Yeah.
rush job bullshit.
No, because then it gets sent back and you got to spend more time and
Yeah,
fucks up
yeah,
everything else.
exactly. It's like ludicrous. It's like the fucking never ending battle. The never ending battle.
Chef, I actually do need to wrap it up. I've got kids coming home here in a
I
little
know.
bit. So
I was just looking through the notes here. Anything that we missed? We did all like the defining and shit, right?
yeah.
Structure and discipline. We fucking hit that. Hit this. All right, man. How do you want to fucking end this? Best worst thing of the week?
Best worst thing of the week.
What is the best worst thing of the week?
God, I don't even know how to answer that. The best worst thing of the week.
Yeah, figure the fuck out, dude. There's probably a shit ton of them.
Best worst thing.
Don't overthink it. Listen, dude. A lot of fucking listen. A lot of
Too
fucking
late.
a lot of shitty, terrible things have happened this week. Like, fuck it, dude. Like,
Um, honestly, at least on my side, where I'm at, in a happy little fucking shell that I live in, I've learned to just block out politics and everything else that's going on because that's just a whole nother shit show that I don't need to worry about. I cannot say that there's been any negative things. Well, all right. How's this? Best worst thing then? Turns out I have sleep apnea.
apnea.
Yeah. So I did the testing on that, and so it sucks, but it's good. I figured it out. So I've got to use a CPAP for a little bit. Hopefully, that'll help me not die in my sleep.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right?
That's the goal. But no, I that want to get tested for it because, like middle of the day, I would just fucking crash. No amounts of caffeine or anything could fucking keep me going. And so it was just like, dude, something is wrong. Something's going on. And it just turns out that I just wasn't like, I think they said between 6 to 12 times an hour, I would stop breathing.
That doesn't sound healthy at all.
No. And so, but I didn't realize how much of an impact that carried over into the rest of the day. So I work out every day now in the morning. My fat ass got up to close to 300 pounds.
Jesus.
And so I was 290 in May. I'm 250 right now.
Nice, dude. Congratulations.
And so I went to the doctor because I'm like, okay, something's going on. Because everything I've been doing should say that I should have not more energy, but better sustained energy throughout the day.
Right.
I should be feeling a hell of a lot better than I do. So, and then that's where they're like, it's sleep apnea.
That's crazy. My stepfather and my brother both go to bed with the machines. Like the whole fucking mask and all that nonsense for sleeping. And like shit, dude, my brother's 8 years younger than me.
Okay.
You know, and he's got like a newborn and all that shit, and that's a scary thing to like think about. You know what I mean? Like you like stop and breathe in fucking in the middle of the night, like.
Well, and I never realized it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like he didn't know.
And my wife never knew.
It took my sister-in-law to, I guess, like she woke up in the middle of the night and noticed that he was like barely breathing, and like shook the shit out of him and like scared the hell out of everybody. It was like it terrified her. But then he had to go in and like spend the night in the hospital, hook up to all these fucking machines and all this nonsense and get everything under control. And like he's in his 30s, and like he works for the Long Island Railroad. He's he works his ass off. He's like the hardest working kid I fucking know. And with the newborn kid, like that's terrifying. And like I'm glad that you figured all this shit out, dude. That would be fucking terrible.
Yeah. So my goal though is to make it not last forever.
No, man.
It's I guess treatable in the fact that continued weight loss and things of that nature.
Yeah, dude.
Like they say, for every 10% you lose, there's like a 30% chance it can go away.
Yeah, so you apply what we fucking do in the kitchen to your life. You take that fucking mise en place and the fucking regimen and the fucking routine and the OCD and like the total
Actually,
fucking.
I have.
You take the whole control thing and you apply it here, and like that's what we've been talking about the whole time. So this whole thing comes like full circle right back to your fucking sleep apnea. Do what we do for a living that like made us what we are, that got us where we are. And you take that same premise and you apply it to everything else in your life, and shit just gets better.
And I mean, that's the problem is I wasn't applying it. And that's when my life pretty much just kind of got out of control.
All right. Well, now
as soon as
you recognize it.
And and it was like, man, this is not sustainable. I got to do something. And so I haven't done the 75 hard. I know about it and I've read about it. But I signed up for a Spartan race. There's obstacle racing. So it's a 5K that I'm doing in October. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go out there and fucking do this thing and be completely embarrassed. So I'm going to got to do something about it. So I put myself in the corner.
When is that?
The 22nd.
All right. So
October 22nd.
So start 75 hard fucking tomorrow. I'm telling, like, I'm not a fucking spokesman or anything, but it's not a physical fitness thing. It's a fucking mental fitness thing. And it puts you in the right mindset to drive your life where you fucking want it to go.
The only thing I think I'm not doing right now would be reading. Like it's like 10 pages a day. I think it is
10 pages a day, nonfiction, gallon of water, 2 45-minute workouts, one of which is outside.
Uh-huh.
It's like the simplest shit. Like it may look like it's nothing, but what it does is create like the mental discipline.
Yeah.
To like execute the same, if not better, every single day. And the goal is to just be better.
Yep.
And I got crazy overweight. I fucking had like an umbilical hernia like during COVID. Like I was eating way too much. I was fucking like treating my body like shit. And like I dropped like 50 pounds. I'm running like 210 right now. But I dropped so much body fat, and I'm replacing it all with muscle just because like I understand my body better and I know what I'm capable of. Like I had my fucking spine fused, you know what I mean? And that's so like working lower back and shoulders and all that shit, like it hurts, but I do it because it makes that part of me stronger, and it's less I have to worry about it. But that's with like anything, you know what I mean? Like you want to like fix this sleep apnea thing, like work out what makes it better. And that's like the first thing of that is like work out your mind. You know what I mean? Like, get the mental aspect done, and then attack the physical thing. Because once like the mental thing is there, the physical shit will all come. And you don't need
To
to
me,
like.
it's one and the same.
Yeah, it is though. Like the mental aspect has to be there. So look up. I think it's like episode 208 or something like that. Like go on YouTube and look up. We'll
Yeah.
cuddle. Yeah, go on YouTube. Look up 75 Hard Andy Frisella. I think it's episode 208 on the MFCEO project, and I'll outline the entire thing for you. And like
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
literally fucking 2 weeks of that shit, and like it's fucking ingrained in you. And then you feel like a shitbag for like not doing it like the next day. I'm serious, dude. I'm fucking I I fucking subscribe to this shit 100%. Like it literally turned my fucking life around. And there's probably fucking millions of people out there that'll tell you the same thing.
You're right.
And like for you, like just as a friend, dude, like it's just me caring about you and like your fucking physical health. Like I wish you all the best, and
Appreciate
do
it, man.
do it for you, do it for your fucking family, and fuck it, dude. Like leave no fucking stone unturned.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Do it. Don't. I'm fucking saying.
Yeah,
Do it.
we can do a follow up. I'll check up on you.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, I'll start texting you every time I go fucking work out. How's that?
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Listen, this was great, man.
Chef.
We had a great time. We'll do it again, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, dude.
All right.
Have a good night, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, Jandit. Hey, boss. Whoa, crazy echo. Did you end it, or did you just leave because it's still showing recording on mine and uploading?
I hit end, but it does say recording.